This video, I'm going to be listing the top 5 changes from the A Song of Ice and Fire books on the Game of Thrones that bothered me the most. And I'm mostly making this video just because I'm starting to go crazy without more Game of Thrones episodes, and I'm super pumped that they finally announced the exact date they're going to start the next season up again. And these are just the 5 changes that bug me the most. I know it's different for everyone, and I'm interested in what bothered them the most, the changes from the book to the show. So if you have things that really peeved you off and it's not on my list, or even if it is, you can write in the comments below, because I just love everyone else's thoughts on this. And I just want to say that these will have spoilers from all the seasons, so if you are not caught up on Game of Thrones, then do not listen to this video. And I also want to say that I really love the show Game of Thrones, and I think they're doing a great job, and even though these things bother me, it doesn't mean that they're not doing a great job. So, number 5. The whole Cat and Robb thing when they were going to war, all the interactions really bothered me, and I think what bothered me more was Cat and how they made her out to be like this simpering, like weak woman that just wanted to be with her kids, and she just was constantly just kind of whiny. And in the books, at least how I perceive her, is she was a very strong woman, and she even, like with Ned, was like, hey, no, you need to go to King's Landing, you need to figure this stuff out, you need to avenge Lord Aaron if it turns out the Lannisters killed them. But in the show, they make it where she's like, oh, please, no, don't go, stay with me. And they do little things like that. And like when she let go of Jamie, and then Robb was like, oh, dude, she's a traitor, blah, blah, blah. And even in the book, like, he comes back, he's made his own mistakes, and he's like, you wanna know what? We both made mistakes tonight. Let's let it go. And Catelyn really is a diplomat. She's a very suave kind of with talk and figuring things out, and she advises Robb a lot. And in the show, they just made it all about Robb doing his thing, and he's so awesome, and Cat was kind of pushed to the side as this weak woman. And I really think that change from the book really did injustice to a character that could have been a lot stronger. Number 4 is the rape scene with Jaime and Cersei. And if you know from the books, Jaime wasn't at that wedding. He arrived after the wedding, and Cersei in the books is grieving, and so when they end up having sex, it's more of a mutual, you're finally back, I love you, you're my brother, my lover, my soulmate, whatever you want to consider those two, and my son has just died, I need comfort from you. Which, if you really want to pick apart that chapter, you can say that Jaime's point of view on things can sometimes be a little maybe not right, but anyways. So, in the books, they have it where it actually makes sense and it seems consensual, and then in the show, he just takes her in front of her their son's dead body, and like, it's all rapey and cringy, and even all the people who wrote the show couldn't decide whether it was consensual or not, and I just think it just turned into a weird mess, and really kind of took away from each of their characters and kind of like their story. Number 3. The Eerie really bothered me. Like, you see Sansa go up there and there's like no one up there. She's like all by herself with, Lady of the Vale, and you have her little boy Robin, and there's like no one around. She's not interacting with herself. It's like it's a ghost castle with no servants or people. Apparently it's just them up in the Eerie. So I thought that was really weird, and we're missing the singer, and I always say his name wrong, and people always make fun of me, but I say Marillion, which I'm sure that's wrong. But that singer is like constantly on Sansa and trying to like rape her, and she has to be saved, and then she has her whole thing about, oh, I wish it was the Hound, but weird teenage psychosis with that probably. But it seemed really weird, and then I feel like it took away from it because she had to first dye her hair black when she got there, so people wouldn't see, oh, she has the Tully hair. No, they dyed it black, and then she's going around, and then there are people around, and then we have the rapey singer, and then he actually views Lady Aaron being pushed out of the window, so Lysa gets pushed out, and the singer sees it, and then they end up blaming the singer for doing it, and instead they have to come up with this weird whole story, and then Sansa has to lie in front of them, and all of a sudden is like this master manipulator, and it just seems so just out of character and weird. The whole Eerie thing felt rushed and weird and just, ugh, it really bothered me. So I'm glad that they're kind of like, it looks like they're moving on from that, because I feel like the whole Eerie scenes were a complete shit show, to be honest. And the whole how they handled Sansa and how she's suddenly, you know, twirling her mustache, a master plotter. But that could have just been me. So number 2, I have major beef with Lady Stoneheart not being in the series. Like, that really upsets me, and I feel like that is a slap in the face to all of us that were really looking forward to it. And I'm not going to talk too much on it because this is spoilers for the shows, and I know some people haven't read the books and may not know about her, but it's really irritating that they didn't do Lady Stoneheart. And I mean, it's even the same thing where it's kind of aggravating that they don't have young Griff, because not having young Griff and saying he's not going to be seen in the series kind of makes some of us who think maybe young Griff isn't who he thinks he is true, and that he won't be important to the series. And so then that's kind of like another slap in our face, like, oh, are you already giving away that this person isn't important and isn't who he is? So Lady Stoneheart not being in there, young Griff not being in there, is very, very upsetting. And then number 1 is actually a tie. The first thing that really bothered me was the whole Tyrion and Jamie parting. In the book, we know that Jamie admits that he knew what happened to Tysha, so the original wife of Tyrion, he knows what happened to her, and that she was just not paid by Jaime to fall in love with him and all of that, that she genuinely loved Tyrion, and that the marriage was true, and that they actually had real genuine love for each other. And when Tyrion figures this out, that, you know, Jaime had lied because Tywin made him, and that he went through with it and made it seem like that woman was just a whore that was paid and she wasn't just a commoner that was in love with him, he gets pissed, and he basically just goes, you know what, I did kill Joffrey and I was happy about it, and Cersei's been sleeping around, and if I ever see any of you guys, I will kill you. Like, he is pissed. There's not this brotherly, like, oh, let's hug, we're so happy, oh, thanks for breaking me out. Like, this is the point, the final straw for Tyrion, where he's like, I am done with my family, and if I see any of those assholes again, they are out of here. And it makes it so that it makes tons more sense when Tyrion goes up and he kills Shay for finding it in Tywin's bed, because he's in a total rage. And then when he goes to talk to his dad, Tywin, and Tywin's like, I don't know, she went wherever whores go, and that's when he, like, snaps. So it really, I feel, takes away from the scene and Tyrion's transformation, because you don't see why he just all of a sudden, like, okay, yeah, everyone turned on him, and he's upset about that, and his family's treated him like crap. But to really see that point where finally it's like, you took an innocent woman that I loved and I married, and you gang raped her and threw coins on her and made me do all this, and then, you know, you said that she was just a whore and it wasn't, like, that just was a game changer. So I feel like taking that out really changed it. I think why they did it is because they were worried about making Tyrion seem like a villain, and maybe they just wanted it just to be more happy-go-lucky. I'm not really sure. And then my other first place tie is actually dealing with Tyrion and Bronn, and this really, I think, just rubbed me the wrong way. Everyone else I've talked to has been like, I don't know why you're so upset about this. The fan service they did to Bronn just bothered me so much. Like, everyone was like, oh, we like Bronn, so, like, they're like, oh, let's make him this lovable little teddy bear. And when they are in the cells, Bronn is visiting Tyrion, and he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna fight with you. Fuck, screw you, I got my own family, I'm out. Like, Tyrion is mad, and, like, to the point where he's like, we aren't friends anymore, like, I don't want anything to do with you, like, this is over. But then in the show it's like, oh, hey, we had great times, we're buddies, whatever, dude, I understand you not standing up for me and just going and doing your own thing, whatever, yeah, we're buds. Like, I don't know, it's just, that scene just rubbed me wrong in so many ways, because just fan service, I understand we have to do fan service, but I just felt like, again, it kind of took away from the dynamics, and I feel like sometimes in the show they try to make it like, oh, everyone's gonna be best buddies for characters that we want to stay around and the fans love. We don't want to in any way vilify them, and it gets a little bit old. So again, these are just my top 5 things that bothered me the most, the changes from the books to the show. You can write yours below. If you completely disagree, that's completely fine. I know some things that bother me, other people are just like, I have no idea what you're talking about, this is perfectly fine. So anyways, make sure you come back tomorrow, Sunday, for our next Targaryen Epic History video. Otherwise, make sure you like and subscribe for new geeky videos every day.